kaspa. So kaspa is actually looking alright. If you look at this, it has reset. It was sort of a parabolic move up here, which we kind of expected to cool off a little bit. I did mention it, obviously, in my Telegram. That'll be in the description in the YouTube. But it was obvious, it just too blow off toppy and it smashed through 10 cents. And it was too easy, sort of like a knife through butter. But the project is what I want to talk about today. It is sold on the 4 hourly, or oversold. And on the 1 day it looks overbought, which isn't good, to be fair. It looks like it wants to cool off a bit more. But it totally depends on the macro environment as well and what Jerome Powell wants to do. Is he going to cut the damn rates, or is he going to not? Because that is a massive decision he needs to make. But it looks like he's following this trend line right here. It doesn't really want to, especially on the weekly. It doesn't really want to pump too much higher. I don't know why. This looks like a hella strong resistance it needs to break, but once we get this weekly breakout, especially because we're so oversold on the weekly, we're probably going to fly higher, especially with sort of bullish momentum that we're seeing. Let's see, because we are still in greed, and I don't like the look of that, because usually greed leads to fear. But we've only got a few months left, so hopefully they cut these rates and we go flying. And overall, fundamentally, I remember when the Twitter was controlled by someone else, it was a lot worse. But now the Twitter looks like it's heading in the right direction as well. Look at the way they're posting. Look at the things they're posting, mentioning that it's the silver 2, the gold, which is Bitcoin, and how fast it is. And it should be the optimal layer 1 because it's so quick and cheap. AIXBT wants to comment on it. Thriving. CAS fundamentals align perfectly with commodity classification. Pure proof of work, no pre-mined, fully decentralized. Exactly what regulators want to see when drawing lines. It's like the perfect currency. It's mad. I don't know how people don't see this yet. Probably because it hasn't actually got exchange listings. Don't get me wrong, we can still pull back again, potentially to 6 cents, even lower if we get a black swan event. But if you look at the overall chart, look how beautiful it looks. It's the market. It hasn't got Bybit. It has got Bybit, I tell a lie. It hasn't got Binance, and it hasn't got Coinbase. That's what I meant to say. It's already got some big ones, but I believe it can get a lot more. A lot more exchanges. And when it gets the main ones, that's when things will start moving. Because it's got almost all of them. And the narrative is in place. Smart contracts are coming out on the 31st of August. Let's have a little look at what Cardano actually did when it got smart contracts last time. Because Cardano now is one of the top 11 cryptos. And it actually went parabolic from around about this level, 9 cents-ish. And it went to flipping $3. So there's definitely the opportunity for Casper to do a similar thing. That is an actual madness, and you have to wait for the bear market to get it at that price again, which you didn't get it at that price for a very long time. How long is the bear market? It takes years for this stuff to pump again. That's why I think it could happen very quickly, and it could be like a flash in front of our eyes. It all does depend on Ethereum. But the developers know what's going on, man. If you look at Ethereum, I just hope it doesn't go down. Because if we get a nasty Q3, a correction to about this level, even 200-300, before we explode higher, it all happens so quickly. You know, the moves up, I've been telling you guys, happens so quick. We move up very quickly, then the moves down or sideways are so long, it's annoying. I did actually buy more Casper today as well, so we'll see how digital silver goes moving forward. It's mad. Also, the proof of work beats POS when you need real security for stablecoins. Native Casper stables would actually work. Proof of work on Casper makes sense. And look at this. It ticks every box. Decentralized, fast, scalable, proof of work. The community's hardcore. They love it. They actually love it. It's mad. And people are still holding things like XRP. This is the correction target we are aiming for on the total 3, and then we want to fly higher. We need to fly higher after that point. Bitcoin dominance did also reject, which is a very positive sign. Cass all-time high before August, I'm gonna be honest. How do you know from all this technical analysis, bruh? He's just drawn loads of squiggles. Lower, baby. I'll just buy more. That is the mindset. I also need to make another video on Amikami, but that is for a different day. Will you be part of the Casper community? Or will you be left behind? Obviously, this isn't financial research and all that garbage, but I believe it's so good.